Hello, and welcome to Tub Trivia, the live quiz show from Mental Floss. I am your host, Justin Dodd, coming to you fresh and clean from my bathtub. I want to start off immediately with your first question. Type your answers in the chat if you know the answer for a bonus point. In Denmark, The Boy Who Drowned in Chocolate Sauce is the actual poorly translated title of which American film? Type in the answers if you think you know what movie this is. The Boy Who Drowned in Chocolate Sauce is a weird mistranslation of the title of which film. Type it in for your first point of the game. Did you get Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? That's right. Apparently in Denmark, Augustus Gloop is the main character. He's the guy who drowns in the chocolate sauce. Sorry, Charlie, you've been replaced by Augustus. If you got that right, give yourself a point on me. First point of the night. Bam, you're welcome. The night is already underway. Since we can't make it to pub trivia, the next best thing is Mental Floss's tub trivia. Thank you very much for joining us. How this works, if this is your first time, is I'm going to ask you guys some questions over 4 different categories. And whenever I ask a question, type your answer into the chat as quickly as you can if you want your score to be officially recognized by the Tub Trivia Board. If you just want to play at your own speed and leisure, like you're watching Jeopardy during dinner and calling out answers to yourself, that's totally fine. This is mostly just for fun and the points don't really matter. But they do matter a bit for Escher Ford, who was our top scorer last Friday and has officially been added to the leaderboards. Congrats, Escher. If you want to join them, make sure to type your answers in quick and get ready, because round 1 is about to begin. You already got a taste for some of these questions. The first round is name that poorly translated film title. When an American film is released in a foreign country, they're sometimes given new names to more properly fit the respective language. But when you translate these new titles back to English, they don't make quite as much sense as I think that they wanted them to. All of the following titles are the actual translations of the foreign release counterparts. This will be multiple choice. When you type in your answer, just give us the letter and you're good to go. Okay, number 1, are you ready, is Very Bad Trip. Straight into the point, just Very Bad Trip. Your choices are Into the Wild, National Lampoon's Vacation, The Hangover, or Are We There Yet? Which one of those is the actual movie that this weird mistranslation is from? All of these films, hilarious. Well, except for Into the Wild. That's a tragedy. That's not a happy movie. But the other ones, what a joy. Type in your answers, A, B, C, or D. Here comes the second point of the game to whoever got The Hangover. Right? In France, The Hangover is known as Very Bad Trip, which is actually kind of a nice pun, you know? It was a bad trip for them, like a vacation and a bad trip. Not bad, France. Okay? Question number 2. Satan Female Soldier. This one's a trip. Satan Female Soldier is the mistranslated title of G.I. Jane, Terminator 2 Judgment Day, Underworld, or Annie. Which one is it? Can you guys imagine if Annie was somehow misinterpreted in other countries as like a horror story about a demonic young murderous girl? I would honestly like that movie a lot more. Okay. Did you type in G.I. Jane? Yeah, in China, G.I. Jane is not just a lady soldier. She's apparently a Satan female soldier. I truly don't know what to make of this one, and I don't want to think about it too hard because I feel I'll be offended. Question number 3. Love is in the Sky. Sounds nice, right? Love is in the Sky is actually which film? The Aviator, Top Gun, Up in the Air, or Airplane? If you thought you were clever by already realizing that it was probably about airplanes, well, guess what? I gave you 4 airplane choices, so it won't help you. Which answer is it? Did you guess? It's Top Gun, which honestly, this is the Israeli version of Top Gun. It's called Love is in the Sky. I don't have a problem with this one. It seems like someone finally understood what that movie is actually about. Love in the Sky. Simple, straight to the point. Question number 4. Sexy dance. I love them all because they're all just like, this is what it's about. A sexy dance. Let's move on. Your choices are Flash Dance, Dirty Dancing, Step Up, or Citizen Kane. I know some of you might be thinking that Citizen Kane is a joke answer because, it's one of the most acclaimed and influential movies of all time, and sexy dancing plays no part in its plot or legacy, but you never know with Tub Trivia. It's not Citizen Kane. Did you get the correct answer? Make sure to type it in quick, because here it is. It's Step Up. This is France once again coming in with those beautiful, straight-to-the-point titles. Sexy Dance, but this one, once again, it makes perfect sense. Channing Tatum. Need I say more? The final question for round number 1. He's a ghost! With an exclamation point. That is a part of the title, which I love, by the way. I love when titles tell me what emotion should be feeling in the title. Ghostbusters, The Poltergeist, Beetlejuice, or Sixth Sense? Huh? This one, very tough, because he's a ghost. Could honestly be a line in any of these movies. It probably is. What is the answer? I'll give you guys a hint. This is another Chinese film title mistranslation. Did you get it right? The answer, and I should have said spoiler warning, I'm so sorry, it's The Sixth Sense. Yeah, in China, he's a ghost is actually The Sixth Sense. Yeah, which, come on, China, you gotta give us a spoiler warning. But to be fair, we've all had it spoiled for us. No matter what age you are, who you are, where you're from. I personally had it spoiled for me because of the movie 50 First Dates. You remember that weird plot point? Anyway, that's it for round number 1. Tally up your scores, write them down so you don't forget. I like that round a lot. All of those made me laugh as I was researching them. We actually have like a huge list of 30 plus of those over on mentalfloss.com. Go check them out if you want the even weirder ones that I left out. The next round was requested by a few people last game, and we gave it to you. We're the trivia show for the people. That's right. Patricia Scully, she's claiming a full 6 points right now, including that first bonus question. Congratulations to Patricia. We're obviously going to have several agents checking your credibility. But for now, Patricia Scully leading the pack with a perfect 6. This next round, like I said, it was requested last Friday, and we gave it to you. It's a pure science round. That's right, this is the celebrities of science. All of these questions are about an A-list famous scientist from history. All had profound impacts on the world, and, this is just maybe my opinion, but if the universe worked in a slightly more correct fashion, these people would be the focus of the paparazzi and the news, not actors and musicians. But I digress. This will not be multiple choice. So if you know the answer, type it in. If you don't, you better be really good at guessing. Okay, question number 1 is, this man, ironically, invented dynamite. Which scientist is the inventor of dynamite? And I'm already implying a sense of irony about it. That should give you a little bit of a clue. Who did it? I'll give you guys a couple extra seconds because you got to type in all those letters of this person's name. All 2 to 40 potential letters of this person's name. Did you guess the correct answer? Alfred Nobel, right? It's very ironic that the man whose namesake is the Nobel Peace Prize is the person who invented the thing that makes boom boom. And this is actually a pretty amazing story of how this came to be. Upon reading a premature obituary about him that was accidentally published before he died, it condemned him from profiting from the sales of explosives. And upon reading that, he felt a lot of guilt. He decided to leave behind a better legacy and bequeathed nearly his entire fortune, I believe about 94% of his fortune, to institute the Nobel Prize. And now, look at him. We all love him. We all think he's this amazing guy, but it turns out he made the boomsticks, as they're called. Are they called that? Is that a shotgun? I don't know. I play a lot of video games. It all gets mixed up. Question number 2. This woman was the first person in history to win 2 Nobel Prizes. Huh? Speaking of Nobel Prizes, this is the first person in history to win 2 of them. Just to narrow it down a little more, there's only 4 people who have ever won 2 Nobel Prizes. This woman was the first. Tell me who that woman was. an A-list celebrity scientist. While you guys are typing that, I'm just going to help myself to a little... I made myself a Publix lemonade and bourbon cocktail. Is it good? I couldn't tell you. The answer? It's fine. Did you get Marie Curie? That's right. She's a rock star in the science world. She won her first Nobel in 1903 for physics, and then her second one in 1911 for chemistry. That's two different categories. That's very, very hard to do, very impressive. I mean, that's probably why they call her the Whoopi Goldberg of science. They don't call her that, but they should. Question number 3. This notable scientist focused on agriculture and found many uses for soybeans, sweet potatoes, and peanuts. Who is the scientist? Write down your answers. You got a couple seconds. I'm going to drink my... It's just the most average drink you've ever had. Did you get George Washington Carver? That's right. I feel like a lot of us know that name. We associate it very heavily with peanut butter, right? He's the father of peanut butter. Turns out that's kind of a misconception. He didn't invent peanut butter. He invented hundreds and hundreds of different products, uses, inventions all around agriculture. It got a lot of farmers to reutilize a lot of their crops when they were potentially going to go under at the end of the 19th century. But peanut butter was actually, the patent for it belongs to John Harvey Kellogg of, Kellogg cereal fame, but references to peanut butter and peanut paste that have been around for literally centuries. He just happened to be somebody who was a big proponent of the many, many uses of peanuts and soybeans and chili, lots of things. Technically, didn't invent it. We were taught wrong. Something's going on. Question number 4. Engineer Valentina Tereshkova was the first woman to do what? Valentina Tereshkova, famous engineer from Detroit. I'm kidding, she's not from Detroit. She's from somewhere else. You can probably figure it out. What was she the first to do as a woman? The answer, type it in quick, is go to space. Yeah, Valentina Tereshkova was the first woman to go to space. She spent nearly 3 days in outer space, orbited the Earth 48 times, and remains the only woman to go on a solo mission to space. She's also a rock star. You should actually look up pictures of her in her cosmonaut uniform. It's amazing. It looks like right out of like a 1960s sci-fi film. She looks so cool. She was also an active politician who spent many years serving the Communist Party of the Soviet Union. So do with that information what you will. Okay, your final question in the science round is, the element with atomic number 99 is named after this scientist who famously never wore socks. That's right. Big boy scientist hated socks. You either have to know your periodic table really well for this one, or just know the obscure clothing habits of dead scientists. Either way. Okay, guys, type in your answers and get ready to tally up your scores, because that'll do it for the science round. Especially if you got this answer. That's my boy Albert Einstein. Yeah, the element is Einsteinium, a not-so-subtle nod to the probably most famous scientist of the modern era. Here's the letter that he wrote to his wife. When I was young, I found out that the big toe always ends up making a hole in a sock, so I stopped wearing socks. I mean, you heard it here first. It's not exactly E equals MC squared, but he's not wrong. Okay, guys, tally up your points. The science round is now in the bag. We're officially halfway through the game. How's everybody doing so far? Feeling good? Feeling bubbly? If you guys are just joining us, welcome to Tub Trivia. You can just hop right in the water. It's totally fine. It's getting a little cold. I'll have one of my interns pour some scalding hot water during the next round. Before we get to the next round, last time I asked for somebody to name this beautiful rubber ducky. I got none. I scanned through all the chat. Not a single person gave me a name. Why do you guys hate ducks? If you want to name the rubber ducky, please, in the chat, give me a name for this poor, nameless duck. Okay, the next round I'm really excited about. Last week we had a lot of fun with the Teddy Roosevelt versus Game of Thrones quote round. So we decided to pick something equally tricky and equally silly. For this round, I will give you 5 quotes, and you have to tell me who said it. Edgar Allan Poe or an emo band. That's right, all the following will either be taken from an Edgar Allan Poe poem or will be a line from an early 2000s emo band. It's very difficult because Edgar Allan Poe is like the original sad boy, and I'm sure inspired many of these angsty, sad, white 20-year-olds. For your answers, just tell me Poe or emo. That's all you got to type. But if it is an emo band and you want a bonus point, you can tell me which emo band wrote it, and I will give you a bonus point. It's going to be pretty tough unless you're like a huge My Chemical Romance fan, and then, maybe this will be in your favor. Quote number 1 is, "Die young and save yourself." Who wrote that? Edgar Allan Poe or an emo band? Would you like to point out this quote? Not great advice. Sounds kind of cool. Not sound advice, in my opinion. Goodness gracious. Okay, did you guess that was an emo band? That's brand new. Yeah? You guys remember that song? It's from the song Sic Transit Gloria, Glory Fades, which, by the way, that song title is a reference to the film Rushmore, one of Wes Anderson's best films. But Die Young and Save Yourself. I would do the screamy sing version of it, but I will not do that to yours. Die young and save yourself. I did it. I'm sorry. Quote number 2. Leave my loneliness unbroken. Oof. Right? I like it. They're all so dramatic and angsty and just get right to the heart of what it is to be a sad, lonely boy looking out a window as it rains in your suburban neighborhood. Okay. Who wrote it? And remember, if it's an emo band, tell me which emo band. You got yourself another point. Okay. Did you get this one correct? Leave My Loneliness Unbroken that's our boy, Edgar Allan Poe. If this sounded familiar, that's probably because it goes like this. Leave my loneliness unbroken. Quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak from out my heart, and take thy form from off my door. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Yeah, that's right. It's from his most famous poem, but everybody kind of just knows Quoth the raven, nevermore. But leave my loneliness unbroken. An equally good, creepy line. And I know in my heart we all die, like the day and the night, like the sun in the sky. Who wrote that? I think a big reason that emo music has phased out is because therapy has become way more mainstream for young, sad people, which is a bummer for emo music fans, but ultimately a very positive thing. So I think we can live without emo music as long as we're all, taking care of ourselves a little bit better. Okay, I know in my heart we all die, like the day and the night, like the sun in the sky. Who wrote it? The answer is... it's The Used. Yeah. You remember The Used? This is from the song Light with a Sharpened Edge, which truly doesn't mean anything. It sounds cool. It doesn't mean anything. I personally am partial to the song The Taste of Ink by The Used, but that's just me. Okay, your 4th quote. Deep in earth my love is lying, and I must weep alone. I mean, somebody help these poor boys. They're all so sad. Who wrote this line? Edgar Allan Poe or an emo band? Tell me the answers. Did you guess? I'll give you an extra second. Type it in. It's Edgar Allan Poe. Yep, this is another Poe. This is from a couplet that was found penciled in on a copy of the manuscript to Eulalie, which speaks of the joy of his marriage. That's a different poem that he wrote. But this was like a secret couplet that he had written, and he had written it after his wife died. Deep in earth my love is lying. She's dead. It's really sad. That guy can't catch a break. Here's your final quote for this round. Also, real quick, I was thinking earlier how apropos it would be if there, wow, no pun intended, if there was an Edgar Allan Poe themed emo band with they'd come on stage and ravens would fly out and all their lyrics would be references to poems. It sounds great. I couldn't come up with a good title though for that band. If you have a good name for an Edgar Allan Poe themed emo band, please let me know. Here's your final quote. Exhale Another wasted breath. Again, it goes unnoticed. This one I understand. I get this one. Amen, brother. Okay, type in your answers and get ready for the end of round number 3. Guys, our time is coming to such a rapid close. I miss you guys already. Did you type in? Who was it? One of my favorite emo bands. It's Dashboard Confessional, right? This is from the song Again I Go Unnoticed, a truly emo song. The following lyrics after this line, let me just read them to you. Please tell me you're just feeling tired, because if it's more than that, I feel that I might break. Out of touch, out of time. My goodness. What a journey. Okay, that is it for our quote round. Lots of depressing, angsty lines there. If you got all those right, you probably spent a lot of time on Tumblr in 2009. I tried to say Tumblr, but it came out as Tumblr. That's the lemonade whiskey talking. Count up your scores, tally them up, because we're moving to the final round. Guys, how's everybody doing? I believe the total possible number of points you could have right now is 19, right? There have been, 15 questions, the one bonus, and then 3 emo bands that you could have gotten all right. Sounds like 19 to me. If anybody's got 19 points, Patricia Scully, how you doing? If you're up there, I applaud you for knowing both science, film, and Edgar Allan Poe poems. That is a wide breadth of knowledge you got there. Okay, guys, we're moving on to the final round. Last week it was potpourri. This week, it's a smorgasbord. That's right. Which, by the way, this is how you spell it. I would have presumed it was more like Smorgasbord with like a lot more G's in there, but turns out Scandinavia has different ideas. There are going to be 10 questions mashed together in this multi-subject round. It's also what we call a blitz round. It's going to be really quick. You'll have about 5 seconds per question. So as soon as I ask it, type in your answers. No time to dilly-dally. These are going to go quicker than a plate of herring at a Swede's house. I don't believe that was offensive, what I just said, but any Scandinavians in the chat, please let me know. Here we go. Question number 1 is, Titan is a moon that orbits which planet? Titan is a moon that orbits which planet? Type it in quick. Remember, this is the blitz round. We're going for it. The answer is, that's Saturn. Right? Okay. Titan, it's the largest moon of Saturn. And although it's far colder than Earth and doesn't seem to have liquid water, many variables of its weird, mysterious atmosphere have led scientists to at least ponder if life could be sustainable on Titan. I'm voting yes. Only because I really love the book Sirens of Titan by Kurt Vonnegut, and I just kind of want to go relive that whole book. Question number 2. Which soft drink, known as sarsi in many Southeast Asian countries, was advertised as a remedy for various ailments in the 19th century? Name that soft drink. It's known as sarsi. It was originally, advertised as kind of a snake oil in the 19th century for various ailments. Did you guess? It's sarsaparilla. That's right, the cowboy's drink, notably referenced in The Big Lebowski. This drink, which is often considered a variant of root beer, although technically it is not, is made from the Smilax ornata plant. It's very tasty. If you've never had sarsaparilla, it's delicious. It really does make you feel like a cowboy. Question number 3. Designer Will Wright was inspired to make which game after his home was destroyed in the Oakland firestorm of 1991? He invented and designed which game after his home was destroyed in 1991? A very sad tragedy, but ultimately he used it as creative energy, which is pretty amazing. Type it in. Did you get the answer? The Sims. Yeah, that's right. He said that he wanted to make a, quote, virtual dollhouse as he was having to rebuild and redesign his own life. 9 years later, The Sims. Thank you, Will Wright. Thank you. Question number 4. Which 1811 novel about the Dashwood sisters carried the simple attribution by a lady when it was first published? So when it was first published, it was basically anonymous. All that it said it was written by was by a lady. What is the 1811 novel? Type it in. Give you guys a few extra seconds because this one, well, it's not the shortest book title I've ever seen. Oh my goodness. I just want to apologize to my brother, who's a very talented mixologist and bartender, for the horrible drink that I've made myself. Sorry, DJ. Did you get for this one? That is Sense and Sensibility. That's right. Jane Austen, this book might not be as famous as Pride and Prejudice, but it's an important book. She famously published her novels anonymously and didn't receive her international recognition until after her death, although she might not have been as anonymous as everybody believes she was. For more cool stories about famous authors, check out our next episode of Misconceptions, which is coming out on May 13th. We'll see you guys there. Okay, question number 5. The highest court in the land is a basketball court located in the same building as which 9-person team? Okay. This basketball court with the name highest court in the land is located in the same building as which 9-person team? If you don't know the answer to this one, this probably is a very confusing question. But once you hear it, you'll go, oh, no, I got it. The answer is, type it in, the Supreme Court. That's right. Yeah, on the 5th floor of the U.S. Supreme Court building, above the actual Supreme Court, there is a basketball court. Whether, Ruth Bader Ginsburg plays regularly, still unknown. We haven't figured that out yet. All right, we're halfway through. How's everybody doing? Maybe you've noticed a trend with the answers of these questions. Maybe not. Maybe they're not related. Or maybe I'll switch it up. You can't trust me. I'm the bathtub man. Don't start that nickname. Please don't call me the bathtub man. My name's Justin. Question number 6. What is the name of the natural formation that arises from the floor of a cave, often composed of calcium salts? Okay. We're back to a little science knowledge here. If you know this one, bravo to you. For me, I get this word and another word confused all the time. So if you did what I did and mixed them up, it's okay. No shame. I'm not going to give you a free point, but don't worry about it. The answer is, type it in, stalagmite. Yeah, remember stalagmites and stalactites are the other one. That's the one that hangs from the ceiling, which often form stalagmites. I also would have accepted, speleothem, which is apparently what all natural cave formations are called. If you guess speleothem, you get a 1.5 points, because I have never heard that word before, and that would be amazing if you were like, no, he's talking about speleothems. It's stalagmite, but I'll accept speleothem. Question number 7. In Morse code, what does ... stand for? 3 dots, followed by 3 dashes, followed by 3 more dots. What does that mean in Morse code? Type it in. If you know anything about Morse code, this should be quick because it's only 3 letters. That answer is, it's SOS. Yeah, SOS, it's the International Distress Signal. That's all you got to do to type it in. If you guys are ever on a sinking boat, ... you're good to go. And while many people think it stands for Save Our Souls or Save Our Ship, those are actually both backronyms, right, created after the fact. So SOS actually doesn't have a meaning. It's just simply the agreed upon code for distress. Once, telegraphs were put into boats, this was just the agreed upon code, chosen for its ease of use and unlikeliness that it's going to be misinterpreted. SOS is not really going to be a different message. It's going to mean, please save us. Okay, guys, we're coming up to it. Question number 8. What is the Swahili word for lion? What is the Swahili word for lion? Have you been studying up on your Swahili? I hope so. Although, maybe you know the sort of what I'm getting at. There's a sort of clever reference going on here. The Swahili word for lion is Simba. Yeah, Simba means lion in Swahili, which means that naming, naming the main character Simba in The Lion King is like the equivalent of naming an American boy Guy. It just means lion. All right. Also, fun fact, Rafiki means friend. Cute. Okay, guys, your penultimate question, number 9. Obtained from the crocus flower, what is typically the most expensive spice in the world? Okay. What is the spice? It's obtained from the crocus flower. It can be really, really expensive. Okay. Type it in. Do you know the answer, which is Saffron. Yeah, it's saffron. I was blown away by this. It can cost up to $3,000 for just 2 pounds of saffron. It's mainly because it takes 75,000 flowers to make 1 pound of the spice. It's because only one very small part of the flower makes the spice, apparently. But you need to go through 75,000 to just make 1 pound of it, which is why it can cost thousands of dollars. So next time you're eating saffron rice, I'm sorry, but you need to check your privilege, because that's expensive. Question number 10. This is it, guys. I hope you get this one right for all of our sakes. Hey, no pressure. The points are just for fun. If you know it, good for you. If not, now you know. Question number 10. Basking, blacktip, and blue are all species of what animal? Type it in, guys. The final question. Gotta get this one right so you can end on a good note. The answer to this one is... those are sharks. Those are all sharks, right? Also, fun fact, sharks don't have bones. They're just made of cartilage. It's just like a big, terrifying monster made from nose stuff coming at you. Guys, that's it. This session of Tub Trivia is officially over. We are ready to drain the bath. Tally up your final scores and type them in the chat. We'll announce next episode the official winner and second member of the Tub Trivia Leaderboard, joining our pal, Escher Ford. Speaking of next episode, we will be back in 2 weeks for our next installment of Tub Trivia. That is May 8th at 7 p.m. Eastern. We will now officially be doing trivia every other Friday. So that means you guys get an extra week to study up so you guys can get a perfect score. While you tally up your scores, here's a final poorly translated film title. Okay? The movie Dodgeball, remember that? Dodgeball, a true underdog story. You remember that movie? Vince Vaughn, Ben Stiller. Well, in Germany, the translated title was, and this is real, Full of the Nuts. That's how everybody knows the movie Dodgeball. It's called Full of the Nuts. Just a bunch of nuts. No reference to dodgeball or sports or nope, just a bunch of nutty guys. Oh, wait. Oh, oh, here we go. Cam B. We're switching to Cam B. Which you know, that's how we're going to do it. Okay. Thank you guys very much for playing. We're going to see you guys in 2 weeks. So next week, take a breather. Make sure to study up. Watch some Jeopardy. Go take some quizzes on Mental Floss. Read a book. Maybe. No pressure. I'll see y'all then. And until then, don't forget to moisturize.